Mm-hmm. Yo,
What up? What up? Oh,
what's up,
snap.
Ben?
Oh, man. Hold on. I need some earphones real quick. Oh, mm. Where'd they go? What's up, boss?
What's up, man?
Chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
you're far more used to this live stuff than I am, so I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. I got a little bit of experience with it. And anybody's watching on this one?
I'm sorry, was that?
How do you know if anybody's watching on this one?
I don't know. I don't know. Actually, it took me all day to try to figure this out.
Oh, yeah. This is. Where is it
I'm
streaming to?
I'm such a noob. Oh, it's streaming on YouTube.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah.
somebody
So
tune in.
hopefully, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to just talk. It says it records it too, so that it keeps kind of a
Yeah, that makes sense though, because anything that goes live nowadays, if you can't record it, it's not as useful. You don't want
yeah.
live videos, like conversation stuff, to be like Snapchat disappears in a day, you know?
Yeah. And people were suggesting this to me because it was either this or podcasts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, podcasts make sense, but like with podcasts kind of take people being in the same area so that they can be um at the same like levels of it, like vocal, like auditory and everything. So like you gotta be
Uh,
together, you gotta have mics, you gotta like have a format. It's easier in the beginning just to do live videos because you don't have to have a format.
right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to like study because originally, like today, I started off like on Discord, and some people hopped on, and we just talked, and that seems like so much easier than this. But this is cool though, because I can see you, and isn't technology amazing?
I know it's kind of crazy. I
It is
remember
kind of
Hangouts from
crazy. It's a
before
little too
though.
crazy.
I remember it didn't used to be able to do this. The functionality on this is actually a lot better than I remember.
Yeah, I remember it when they first came out with Google
Yeah, when it
Plus.
was the shitty little circles and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the thing that was completely
they still have
useless.
those.
Yeah, they do. Nobody uses
They
it.
they still have those.
Like Google Plus is
Yeah.
gonna be the Facebook killer. It was not the Facebook
Oh,
killer.
nope, nope. You can't cuck the Zuck.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. He's
You
gonna
can't
own
cuck the
part of
Zuck.
Hawaii eventually. It's just not gonna be fun.
Yeah, I know. He probably owns it already.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. He has enough money.
he has he has a little bit more than enough money. So how have
He
you been,
just.
man? Tell
I'm good, man. I'm good, man.
Yeah?
I'm just like working basically, and like doing some stuff with Warriors Crew, and like just kind of like sitting back and observing dance wise. I've been like emceeing some jams and stuff. I've come back into it, but I took a break just because I don't know. This wasn't as I feel like in a way I've seen the progression and not all of it is like great. And
Expound.
so I mean
Expound.
like I like I feel like a lot of like the energy that used to like make up for skill level, you know, where everybody used to be like, oh, okay, like if you're pretty good, but like it's hype or like it's clean or whatever, it'd be like, oh, okay, that's fun to watch. But nowadays, I'm like looking at things and it's like everything is technically perfect, but it's not very fun to watch. And like everything, and
Oh,
that goes for like the freestyle dancers too. It's like they're doing more things with the technique, but it's just not really fun to watch. It just doesn't have as much. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't. It's like it's a certain kind of essence or an energy, I guess, like from like the people that I used to look up to when I was like, coming up. I mean, I see a lot of people that have it, but they're not from here. They bring it from wherever they came from, you know. I don't
and
know.
okay, so why do you think that is though?
I mean, when I think about it,
Let's talk theory here.
I mean, when I think about it, like all of the people that are in this area or like in Southern California and California, like they have like everybody's like kind of like inundated, like saturated with all this like dance like footage or with the dance like culture, the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, so you don't really have a bunch of people that need to go and learn every style from like the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't learn house from the jack. They don't learn like popping from like the pop itself. Sometimes they have so many movements that they learn movements first and then they learn the basics. Is that
Wow.
Can?
It is Ken.
Can!
Oh
That's
my goodness.
It's a bunch of dance nerds talking about dance shit.
Oh my god. But Ben, you and I, we need glasses though. I mean, Ken is out there. He's out nerding us.
Hey, I used to have glasses, so I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. I used to have glasses when I was younger, but they're off. They're off.
Yeah, I
so.
feel you. I have contacts on, so I'm not like it's not like I can see. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
I see that you can't see.
Yeah.
But can see.
But can see.
Can he see?
Can't. But it's Ken with a K.
Yes.
But can he see?
I know. Yes. Can see? What? All right.
Ken, we're having too much fun with your name.
Yep. I'm about to have fun with his his outfit right there. You're really gonna disrespect me like that? Gonna go onto the stream and
I just
like throw Cloud9 in my face?
What are you talking about? I went 0-2. What are you talking about? You went 1-1.
I know, but well, I mean, I guess that just sucks then. I should wear my Biofrost shirt. Where's my Biofrost shirt? I'm sorry, man. We're just this is supposed to be about dance, and we're talking about League. God.
It's all good. It happens. It's what happens with dancers too. Oh, okay. So that also feeds into my point. I think that like with a lot of people when they started dancing, like before YouTube, like pre-YouTube, they weren't really like internet people. They were like just dance people, you know, and like they were kind of like ingrained. They wanted to be dancers, whether or not it was because they saw something on TV or they saw their family or whatever. You know, they weren't like they didn't get it from the internet. But the type of person that is like going to be good at like finding like all of these things on the internet is usually going to be kind of a nerd, right? And like with that comes kind of like this like different idea of what's cool. Like when you look at like all like a lot of the dancers from like 2005 and before, right? They all kind of wear like baggy clothes, but they wore it because it was the style, and they wore a lot of them wore it because it was their style, right? But like a little bit after that, like you saw people trying to rock it and it wasn't really working, you know, like you saw the first generation of poppers that were kind of awkward in their hush puppies that had the pants but didn't really have the funk, wearing these like things, and it was just kind of awkward on them. And then like as time went on, I feel like it's just not, I don't know. I don't want to say like hood because that's not really what it is, but it's that like level of it's like the hypeness that crumpers have. It's like the hypeness that like the b-boys have. I just feel like I don't see it as much in the other styles as like people just became more like, oh, I'm gonna just watch these dope dancers instead of trying to like be the dope dancers.
But that comes with that comes with great success though. I mean, the way I look at it, you know, on a sociological perspective, the way I see it is this. Think of it this way. It's purity versus you have your purity, right? And the thing is the purity dissolves as you propagate, right? Yeah. So I mean, imagine this. Imagine the dance community, or like, you know, the hip hop heads, whatever, or let's just talk popping, right? So the popping crowd was very, very small. Yeah. Right. The population, especially compared to now.
Yeah, super small. Bunch of secretive motherfuckers.
So I know, right? It was literally underground.
I will hide my moves.
It was so underground that when people bit, like,
they didn't even know.
You
what
wouldn't know until
until
they met face to face, and then all of a sudden it was just like,
oh wow,
right? It was like serendipity.
Yeah.
But then the way I saw it was that you have a group, right? And it consists of people who I would, just for the sake of this sort of theory, we'll call them skilled,
Okay.
right? So it's either they have the potential for skill, which, and skill for me usually equates, like, all across the board, not just through dance, but it equates to how much the willingness to undergo delayed gratification, right?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you compare people who are skilled, in popping. The people who are skilled in popping are the people who are going to learn the fundamentals. They're going to train at it. They're going to grind at it. They're going to do all the necessary kind of steps to do it, and then put themselves under criticism. That's a long process.
Yeah.
Which is different from like what we kind of have now. The class takers now, they're more instant gratification. Like, they want to feel good after every class.
Yeah, they're a little bit more upfront with their need for, which makes sense though. But like, to me, I think like the thing that that is the difference maker between those two kinds of like ends of the spectrum is that like it's really, really difficult if you're not like completely ingrained in a culture to get like those like little tips that make for mastery. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you listen to masters talk and they teach you how to do a hit, or they teach you how to do a double hit, or like to like move off from one hit to another to get from position to a position, like even if it's just for the hit, right? Like those kinds of things, like the OGs that teach those things really well are a lot of them are overseas. It's just they make more money there, like that's why you see so many like Japanese and Korean and French and like those area dancers, because they have scenes that like pay the OGs. And so a lot of the OGs, a lot of the best ones don't teach here. So the way that we have so much footage, but it's like those little things, like, oh, when I do it, I do like a little bounce, and that helps me keep going from place to place instead of just trying to bite it from like whatever you're watching. And like, I think that like that separation also plays into the dilution. Like, when you're separated, like when you're separated by degrees of separation from like not the originators, but also the innovators, then like the overall level or the overall ceiling is a little bit lower.
Well, that's natural though. Like, see, my argument is that this is like, if the dance community, or let's say if hip hop in general, right? I'm sorry, we were talking about popping. We were trying to localize it to popping, right?
That's fine. I mean, I don't really get.
So
we can leave.
Yeah. So let's. Okay, we can. I was just using popping.
Yeah, we can leave styles. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so let's say hip hop in general.
Okay.
Right, because of the fact that hip hop was bound for such success, anything that becomes successful loses purity. It just does.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because you start having like what I was saying earlier. You have these people who are, I just call them unskilled. Skilled, right? So these are the people who are.
Okay. I was like, damn, they suck.
I know, the noobs.
The noobs of the dance.
Which will actually get to my point, anyways. But so you have these people who we will call the skilled, right? These are the people who maybe not all of them are talented, but all of them have like they're persistent enough.
The know-how.
That's
okay.
Good. Right, they have the potential enough to get good, or they have what it takes. Okay. And like I said, like throughout history, the thing that divides skilled and unskilled is usually who's willing to delay gratification more.
That makes sense,
right? It's just like money. Yeah. Like, who's going to be rich more, the person who spends the money right away or the person who saves it?
Yeah,
it's kind of a universal idea. So let's just adopt that idea, right?
Okay.
What happens is that you have a small population size of a lot of skilled people. And what happens is that when they succeed through all the platforms, like the movies, the videos, the whatever it is they did, whatever the hip hop heads did to become famous, like some of them like hopped onto Motown. A lot of them were involved. Like a lot of them actually made music.
A bunch of everybody got into that.
Well, everyone.
Yeah.
And it spread that way, and it kind of spread like wildfire. I mean, hip hop is probably one of the fastest growing styles ever. It's evangelized more people than any religion. You know what I mean?
Probably not. Probably not more than any religion.
No, I didn't say more. I said faster.
Yeah. Maybe.
I said faster. I mean,
yeah. I mean, except for by conqueror, right? Like,
not through the sword, but
through the word,
but through the burn.
Yeah. Through the burn, through the rock.
People get smoked.
Yeah.
See, that was a tip off to you.
There you go.
But what happens is that when more people, so you have this very concentrated group, right? So it's, the style is very pure.
Okay.
Right? And then all of a sudden, because so many people start to like it, you have an influx of people who are quote unquote unskilled. They're unskilled either because they're noobs, which all of them are, or they're they just don't have the same they just don't have the same willingness as the people who did it, because there's very low incentive for the people who did it.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it wasn't popular, so they did it literally off of passion, and it was the majority of the incentive came from them kind of understanding it and being, or they were already part of the culture and they couldn't escape it anyways. But then a lot of the people that come in there, now you have motives that are not pure.
Yeah, makes sense.
And without pure motives, then the purity goes down. It's almost like you had 50% in your drink, and then the ice the ice melts, and there's more water in it now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I understand that.
And then what happens is,
okay. Keep going. Yeah. I think there's like a miss.
Yeah, I'll just continue my point. And from there, the problem with that is that it creates kind of a loop in the wrong place. Yeah. Because now you have what are the ratio? What's the ratio of skilled to unskilled? Probably like one skilled to 40.
Yeah, something like that, maybe. Yeah, I would think like
1 to 40. People who want to invest in it, it's good that they want to invest. There's the people who want to invest, like studios, teaching classes, YouTube, all of these things, right? Want to get involved, and now all of a sudden it's all about market. Who are you going to sell to? Are you going to sell to the 1 or to the 40?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just more.
So the 40, and now what? But the difference between the skilled and the unskilled is that the 40%. What do they want? They want instant gratification.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And you get these classes that give a lot of instant gratification, but don't how to really dance. It's kind of like this. If you think about it, like so you have all of these OGs or whoever who can really teach it to its core, but it's almost an unsellable class.
Yeah, they don't have the same level of outreach, I guess, or they don't have the same level of fandom. Commitment. I mean,
because because the 1 is the 40.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, a backlash from the way that the OGs were before. I mean, so many of them used to be very secretive about their moves. They used to not want to teach anybody. Just be like, nah, whatever you do. So then when like that new middle generation kind of came up, they didn't have they had to be original because nobody would teach them anything. Like they wouldn't teach them their move sets and their styles, because they're like, nah, what do you mean? That's what I do. You do what you do. I remember that used to be the old OG argument. Like, nah, I don't want you to do what I do. I want you to do what you do. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because how am I supposed to learn if you don't teach me at least a little bit of what you do, right? And to me, that's why I think the robot is like the easiest place to see how the dilution has affected everything. Where it's like, when you look at like the OGs, when you look at like, I don't know, like Pop-Tart and like Bob and Andre and like that style of robot, like it's very clear that there's like a very clear foundation to the movement. Like there are styles and there are moves that make up these styles, right? But as you go on and on, the robot's definition starts to get looser. They start to use it in waves. They start to use it in more like angular tutting kind of things. And then eventually the robot it's like everybody thinks they're doing the robot because they have this idea of what the robot looks like, but it really is just dubstep dancing. And they just get so I mean, I'm not really a huge like critic on it being separated. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's always been separated. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like even if especially living in California.
Wait,
Like,
what is being separated?
I mean, just like by geography, by area. Like if you live in Pomona and you're trying to go out and you're trying to learn how to bop from like I don't know Andre or like whoever you have to get to in LA, right? Like that distance of like 40 miles is kind of a big deal, right? Like
It becomes a barrier to learning. Yeah.
exactly, like, and that's in the same that's in the same state, that's in the same area, right? Like on the map, it doesn't look that far, but then like if that's far, then like your
What more
ability to
other
like
places? Yeah.
exactly, then everything else is way farther. Shit, like if you're out of California, you might as well be in a different world, right? Like
Mhm.
it makes sense that people would have developed differently. And like a lot of the people that I feel like are the nicest or the ones that didn't try to like diss everyone and tell everybody that they suck at some point, like those are the ones have been like out teaching a lot in different places, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of the best OGs, a lot of the OGs that like people would say were the best in their prime, they're not teaching because still kind of like come from like the real. I come from like the real, and like you don't know, you didn't see what I lived through. You didn't see what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the argument that you always get. But because of that split, that backlash it has to have been immediate. You know, like there's a generation that really tried to live up to like the popping and like to learn what it was and everything. And then when that didn't end up being like, I don't know, when that didn't end up having that much of a ceiling, like a place to grow, like people turned elsewhere and they turned to try and entertain people like in movies and TV. And eventually when they didn't do that, they just figured out that it was easier to do it on your camera and put it up on Instagram and YouTube and stuff. And they didn't have to go out and learn roboting anymore because if you robot like medium well, then on camera you look all right.
Medium well. We're not talking about food for the people who just entered, right? By the way, guys, I see a bunch of people who just hopped in.
What's up, y'all?
So yeah,
Jonathan and Jarek. What's up, y'all?
No, JJ.
Nice what up, man?
What's up, Jay?
Not much.
Earlier. Well, okay. Well, so with that, like, see, I don't necessarily think that there's something wrong with that. I think it's natural.
Yeah,
like
I don't just think
that's a natural progression.
I think it's just something that people point out, especially from either side, because of like when you're on one side of the line, then you look at the other side, or then you look at either the line or the other side, and you're like, well, that's like, and that's the reason for all your problems. But the division is going to be there almost regardless. I don't really see that division going away because it's such a small community to have to draw from. Like it's just a small source of like knowledge. Even when you add up all of the like the OGs in every style, they don't turn out to be that many people.
Well, because I believe, like, I'm one of the people, I don't know, actually, I really don't know if there's enough people who believe this, but I actually believe that the community, the dance community that we're sort of in right now, and the hip hop community are almost separate. Like for me, you can consider them two completely different communities at this point.
Yeah, they're not the same. They're definitely not the same.
Yeah, there's overlap. Yeah, there's overlap. Definitely overlap
because of the individuals.
I think that there's three communities. There's especially in California specifically, there'll be the community which is like collegiate, and then there's the freestyle community as well. Yeah. And so I think in California, there's the industry. There's like
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean,
there's like overlapping between it, but as we said, as you guys agreed on, three different communities. So.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, a lot of the. I mean, yeah, it's weird. It's you see the difference in between those three because like with the freestyle community, there's an emphasis on styles, and like with the choreo community, there's an emphasis on being clean and like being able to do other people's choreography and eventually becoming a choreographer. And like with the industry, there is a lot about energy. It's a lot about killing it and performance and that kind of thing. Like they don't have that high of a focus on being clean.
Yeah, as in choreo, we're more about lines.
Yeah.
With the industry, more just going full out performance and testing themselves. And like, I don't know if you ever been through agencies. Most of them just look for freestylers and instead of just, or you can just look instead of just.
Yeah, it's true. I got signed to GTA on a freestyle audition. I feel you. It's just easier for them to like to have faith that you're gonna go, as long as you're gonna stick and do what you do, that you're gonna perform at that level wherever you go. You know, like it's not like, oh, if the piece isn't for you or in your style, you're not gonna shine. It's just like a safer investment that way.
Actually think of it, I think it's a lot deeper than that. I mean, if you look at kind of those three communities, right? We'll call them what's good, like streets. I usually go like street, collegiate, and industry. But you know, because some people say studio. Some people like to use the word studio hip hop.
Not studio though, like in like it's a different genre, like subsection, like
yeah,
it feels different because studios can be anything too.
That also is a different community, like the people that compete at like, I don't know, like monsters of hip hop and that kind of thing.
Well, see, that's the thing is that the way I try to differentiate them is through the goals, through each quote unquote community's goals. Right, because you know when people say the freestyle community, their goal is pretty much the same, right? Which is the reason why you can have an overlap of styles. So, for example, the housing community and the popping community are pretty much all in one community to me, because they all have like probably different styles, but they all at the end of the day they all have kind of the same goal. Like they're all, if it's a market, they're all creating the same product. Right. But see, the difference for me now becomes when you consider community, because they're not creating to freestyles. Like it's you know, they're not even developing the same type of dancers. You know, it's a skill all on its own. You know, I've had a debate with a lot of people actually. I have this debate where people say like, should you be freestyling and doing choreo at the same time, or should you get good at both? And for me, it really depends like what you're trying to sell.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, that's because it's kind of a question that just has to do with yourself as a dancer. It's not it's not really anything. I mean, it's not new, but a lot of people don't even really think about it because they kind of think of choreo as that's why that old freestyle choreo paradigm never really worked, because even the choreo heads were like, well, we in the OC are completely different than those in LA and completely different than those in San Diego. You know, like you have different choreo experiences depending on where you're living. Like,
yeah, and they're two different types of skills.
Yeah, it's true. You know, that is also one of the.
It's almost like it's comparing freestyle rap to written rap. Like they're two completely skills with two different standards.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I have been watching a lot of like freestyle rap lately. I'm like just a lot of.
Oh, I'm a very big fan of the freestyle rap. Yeah, although here it's hard for me to find like a good written rap league here.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe, you know,
Canada has King of the Dot.
Yeah, you know. King of the DT is dope as fuck, dude.
Yeah, and most hardcore American rappers like they battle up there. They battle up there.
Honestly, though, that's like the same thing as is happening around the world with like the styles, you know, because like I liken the rap scene, I liken the freestyle scene like a lot to rapping, but I also liken it a lot to like the NBA and like that like realm of how you get from here to the NBA, or whether or not maybe you might not even be in the NBA, maybe you might just be like a shooting coach, like a dribbling coach or something. Maybe you might be a specialist, but. Like one thing that I think that street dance, like the freestyle scene, has kind of like failed to capitalize on is like big events that matter in the United States. Like I think that like a lot of the bigger events are not in the United States. They're like abroad, much like rapping, like freestyle rapping. You don't really see that many freestyle rapping like battles and ciphers and stuff. Yeah, you know, online.
Smoke, you there?
Oh, there you go. Did I freeze?
Yeah, you did.
How long did I freeze?
For your speech.
What was the last thing I said?
No. We heard you. We
Oh,
just
okay.
couldn't see.
So the picture, yeah, because you were freezing up too. I was just like, am I?
Yeah. Is it my? Maybe I'm the host.
I have
So
no idea.
does my internet affect it?
I have no idea. There's so many different factors that could be that could attribute to lag. So
Yeah. I'm looking at the chat. I'm like looking at. Yep. It's a sausage fest right now.
yeah. Well, I mean, this kind of talk
is.
isn't going to like attract a bunch of people that are female.
I know. Talking about Wonder Woman, and maybe they'll come out from their little holes in the shell.
Yeah, I don't even know. I heard it was good. I haven't watched it yet. I want to though.
I heard it was good too, but I mean, I can't trust everything that I hear is good.
Yeah, that's true.
I cannot. There's a lot of movies that have been they've been hyping it up on TV or on social media, and when I sit in the theater, I want to shoot myself in the leg, you know.
Yeah,
I want to fake a concussion so they give me my $17.
Maybe I don't feel you like that, but I do feel you.
I'm just a master of hyperbole.
Yeah, maybe not to that extent, but I do feel you. I understand that feeling.
Yeah, if we were watching a movie, we'd probably look at each other and be like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
Oh man, that's.
No, I would watch a movie till its fullest.
Yeah, I would just watch it. I'm kind of like a. I don't really trust ratings and stuff. I'll figure it out for myself. It's because I know that taste is individual. You know, like nobody is going to be the end all be all of this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's such a I made a video about whether art or beauty is objective or subjective. So, I mean, if you haven't seen it, like, most of my thoughts on it are there. I even made like a really stupid animation to kind of push my point. It's really, the animation sucks, but I mean, I hope it put my point across. So yeah. So when it comes to what topic were we on when it came to?
No. We just switch topics now. Nobody wants to hear about. It just gets bitter when you talk about the divisions. What do you think about? I haven't watched any of the Body Rock stuff.
I watched a bunch of the Body Rock stuff.
Yeah,
I heard they're going hiatus for a year.
Yeah, I heard it's last year, right? Or is it for a year?
I think they're taking a break for a year.
Oh, okay. I thought it was done. I was like, oh snap, that sucks. I didn't go.
They should have put that. They should have put that on the flyer, and everyone would have went.
Yeah, Can says tentatively.
This is the last one.
Yeah, it might be. Can says it might be.
Can it's tentatively the last Body Rock. No, It's the last Body Rock when I say so.
All these San Diego people are just hella confused. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So is Buster Groom coming back then? Is that what's happening?
Oh shit! I wish. I wish. Throw it all the way back to the bag.
Oh my gosh. Well, that would suck for the teams because they're going to be like, this is my last Body Rock performance, and I had to do somebody else's set basically.
Oh, for fucking like that.
I had to honor someone else. I couldn't even do what I wanted.
Honestly, that might be the best way to go.
Therefore, nobody wins.
I mean, that's kind of our scene. It's like at first everybody was like arguing and like trying to like start shit with other teams, and nobody won. And now everybody loves each other, and nobody wins. Except
yes, it's at first everyone was complaining about who was special, and then in the end, everyone just accepts that everyone's special, which makes no one special.
Exactly.
It's such a wonderful thing.
I think it is. I think that is funny too. That is a part of the reason why I don't like really engage as much with the choreo scene. It just doesn't have as much competition. It doesn't have as much like cutthroatness as I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I just remember everybody being like that, just really, really rude to teams, but like polite to people. Like they would hate other teams, but when they saw individuals, it would be okay. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't see that.
That's the psychology of in-group preference. It's like, oh yeah, we hate those people, but then when they're face to face with it, no, but you're fine.
Exactly.
You're a nice blank. I haven't seen a nice blank in a while. Oh, you're one of them nice Team Millennials. It's like when I say I hate Team Millennia, I don't mean you.
I don't
You're
mean
one. You're
you.
special.
I just mean that thing that you represent.
Yes. Like, yeah, I don't like what the team is about, but let's grab drinks and
Let's grab drinks. Let's play beer pong.
or the way the dance community is, or let's dry hump. I don't know.
Oh God. I'm like getting so tired.
Everyone in this chat knows that that's true. That there's truth to that.
Oh yeah, of course. That's not even really an argument. Oh man.
It's
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like after a while when we just like have gotten used to it and it's changed because like how long have you been in the scene now? Like decade?
Me personally?
Yeah, decade?
No, not even. I came here like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you got in. So how did you start dancing?
You've been here 7 years, Crane.
7 years. Oh, 7 years. There we go. 7 years. It only felt like 5. I only took 5 years.
He turned on his mic just to laugh, and he turned on his mic just to tell you that you've been in the.
Got it.
Kuroi's a vulture.
Yup.
He just wants social dominance points by making me look bad. That's all he wants.
That's hella funny. That's
Is
hella
it
funny.
working?
I mean,
I don't know. You're not that cool yet. So
You're not that cool yet. Just keep trying, dude.
All right.
I'll slip up one or two more times.
Hey, if you shovel up enough dirt, you can make a mountain, right? So
Yes. Let's talk about delayed gratification, right?
delayed gratification. Yeah.
Gotta grind, boy. Gotta
Always grinding, man. You know this.
always,
You only have 999 more live casts to shame him on,
yeah.
and you'll get to level 100. You'll get.
And then maybe I will respect you.
Yeah, but it's okay. You'll have a mountain of dirt to stand on.
Yes.
Yeah. You're like Johnny Depp in the
I like dirt.
Pirates, where he's like, I got the jar of dirt. I've got the jar of dirt. You're like, I got the mountain of dirt. I've got the mountain.
No, you'd be like my ex-girlfriend who literally keeps all the shit on me.
That's all girlfriends. That's all girlfriends.
I
That's it. Ain't one woman in the world that doesn't do that shit. If they tell you that they don't, they fucking
I don't know
lie.
why.
They're fucking lying.
I don't know what it is, man. Dude, God or some shit like that. What is that?
I don't know.
They pray to the same God or some shit. They're just like, thou shalt remember everything. Like, yes, Holy Mother.
Thou shalt remain petty. Thou shalt remain.
Pettiness is our virtue.
Oh my.
Man, no wonder the female viewers don't want to. Oh man.
They're probably they're oh my God, did you hear what the boy said? Oh my God, patriarchy.
Patriarchy, dude.
I know.
Honestly, sometimes I find myself doing patriarchal shit, and I like hate myself for it, but I can't stop.
I think it's because you have a penis. I haven't confirmed that yet. I haven't seen your penis, but your voice tells me you have balls.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I know. Well, but, yeah, I feel you. Sometimes
Yeah.
you wish that the voice would tell you. In Thailand. Anyway.
In Thailand. I know I'm Thai, so I know what you're talking about.
Shit, I know you're Thai. Look at your last name.
I know. You can't pronounce that good.
No, I can't.
Crane's
Okay, I know. I mean, it's just.
You have at least you have something that's easy phonetically. It'd be like Lee. Oh.
Well, yeah, super easy. It's the only complaint is that people think I'm Chinese sometimes.
Yeah.
By sometimes I mean 95% of the time.
Wait a minute, you're not Chinese?
No, I'm Korean.
Dude, my life is a lie. Like, what the fuck?
That's what everybody says, right? When I say that, everybody always goes, "Oh yeah, my life is a lie."
Yep. Because every time you win battles, I'm just like, oh, these fucking Chinese. This whole time I should have been like these fucking Koreans.
Honestly, that's what people say for international battles all the time. It's fucking Koreans, right? Like the B-boys.
that's a very interesting. That's very interesting. Actually, I want to hop on that topic real quick.
Korean took over every fundamental style and just ran with it.
Yo, they smashed everyone. They smashed everyone.
We couldn't even talk about this earlier. Remember, like the Asian scene just took everything and just made it new.
Well,
that's true.
Well, here's the thing. Again, here comes my because I have a psych background, right? So it's hard for me not to see it from that lens. And oh yeah, okay, then let's do this.
Let's do this.
let's see who is the least rusty from their time in college.
Can I join? Can I join?
Oh shit!
In the rustiness, yes, bro. I will respect
shit.
your rustiness.
Academics.
Yes.
Let's get it. All right.
This for sure.
Okay, so
When-
here's the thing. Difference from the Philippines, because I've been to the Philippines. Oh, obviously I grew up there.
What?
Yeah, I'm Filipino. You don't know that?
You can't hear it from the way that he talks. I could hear it for the first. It was confusing as shit. I was like, "Why a Filipino dude have a last name like that?"
I know.
Well, you should have seen him when he first like. You should have seen him when on what's called when on Barkada Modern. And I was like, "That's not a Filipino."
I know. I was probably the second Filipino there.
Homie Theo
Barkada
Tanalega.
Modern.
You and Theo, y'all got the same kind of like light skin. Like,
Yeah, we're the handsome Filipinos.
yeah,
Wow.
the boogie
Wow.
The pogi
Saying
ones.
us dark skins are ugly.
Well, you're
honestly,
you're
your
Indio,
whole
bro.
country says that.
John,
You're an Indio, bro. I'm a mestizo.
Oh shit!
Growing up in
Oh,
our culture,
shit.
dark or ugly. That's how it is.
Hey, honestly, in Korea, it's like that too.
I bet it's like that everywhere.
And it's like that almost everywhere.
No one wants to say it, but everyone knows it's true. The Asians are racist as fuck.
Asians are racist as hell. The Asians are
Yeah.
so racist. Oh
Yeah,
my
we get
God.
it from our parents, and the parents
I know.
just I don't know where they got it. They must have got it from their parents. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, yeah. Go ahead.
The point I wanted to make was because here's kind of an interesting thing, and this is something that I try to preach a lot is that there's always kind of like this difference in culture, and when I battled in the Philippines, I battled in Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, and
Okay.
Japan, and then here, and then America, right? And is that there is, well, America in general, it's not only liberal,
Okay.
it attracts liberals.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So like I'd consider myself like a natural, like that's my natural temperament.
Okay.
It's not where I lean politically, but it's my natural temperament. It's like I'm a liberal. So when I came to so America is nice and shiny to me because it's like I want to be myself. I want to be different. I want to do this, and this is where we all tend to come to. It's the culture here that kind of allows that thing to happen. Somebody asked me this question, and I just want to hear your thought on it because this is kind of a solid theory of mine, and I'd want to see if it lives up to scrutiny. A lot of people ask me how come countries like the Philippines or Japan or Korea or whatever they come to America and they win a lot of our competitions, right? So it's almost like they beat us. And when was the last time America won first place in HI?
Has that happened
I
in this
see it.
decade?
No, hasn't. I don't think so. Not in this decade. The past decade it has.
Yeah, the past. Yeah.
Oregano was like second, I believe.
No, we've gotten second, but
Second, I think second. Yeah.
Well, who cares about second? That just means you're the first to lose.
Hey, can the historian thinks he doesn't think America has ever won HHI?
Yeah, I don't think they have. The closest they ever gotten was second, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I think. I remember second being like a huge deal.
Second was a huge deal. Oh my god! I mean,
Well,
then
because like America never wins.
and my explanation as to that is just think of it this way: other countries tend to be more conservative.
Okay.
Like if you're going to look at their temperament of their overall population, they're more conservative, right?
Yeah.
And what conservatism does, the temperament, all right, not the political leaning.
Yeah.
The temperament is that what they like to do is they're fans of structure.
Yeah.
They're fans of chaos. They like order, we like chaos, right? And in America, it's more like that. But because here in America, there's there's so much. There are a lot of people who are chaos minded or creative minded. We tend to be the source of the creation of a lot of things. So we created hip hop. We created the styles, right? You'll barely see a style like a hip hop style that was invented elsewhere. It was all invented here, right? And even the subsets of those styles were created here. So and but if you notice, they're out there mastering it.
Yeah, they are.
Here we don't compete by mastering shit.
That's true.
By making new shit. So if there's two poppers here, it's not about like, well, we're gonna see who pops better. It's always who's the freshest, who's gonna come up with the better style. Yeah. Because we don't like that. I noticed that a lot of the hip hop heads here, they don't. It's not in their personality to do that. When I met a lot of OGs, it's not in their personality. They like telling other people to do it.
Yeah.
They like saying, "Hey, you need to learn your fundamentals. You need to grind. You need to pretty much be conservative." Like, oh, what if you want to learn Bopping Andre's style? It's like, no, that's Bopping Andre's shit. If I challenge him on that, he's gonna beat me because he made that shit.
Yeah. That is the OG mentality. Nobody's trying to like outdo each other in the things that they do. They're like, nah, well, if you bring that, then I'll bring this.
Yeah. And that's why they stratify. That's why all of a sudden, that's why there's so many different splintering of disciplines. Is because nobody has. I don't know if it's pride, but nobody wants to be in anybody else's shadow.
No, they don't. Yeah, and that is also a big thing. I think from what I've seen and what I've heard from like a lot of my Asian friends is that a lot of the younger dancers like really, really look up to the older ones, and they really try to look like them and try to be like them. Mm-hmm. And that's even in the freestyle dimension. Like that's kind of normal in choreo and on regardless of whether it's industry mainly because people copy what works. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of community dancers don't really start with much vocabulary, so they kind of just like absorb the tendencies of the people that they dance most
naturally
or respect the most. Yeah,
it's like peer learning.
Yeah, but I think because of that, the transmitting of movement is actually more efficient everywhere else. Everywhere else, I think the younger ones are so obsessed with learning every single detail about how to become closer and closer to the OGs that they naturally end up having more of a shared language. They have the shared foundation. They can speak the same thing even though they don't speak the same language. Mm-hmm. Right? And that makes for better performances. That makes for better, because when you have a bunch of people that actually know how to do like a stop and go or like around the worlds or like whatever, then you'll actually have a locking performance, mm-hmm. as opposed to lockers, and not just like a bunch of people that like want to dance together but don't really have a shared style, so they choose one. Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Oh yeah, sorry. My girlfriend was talking about a bird.
Oh, I was gonna say hi, but
yeah. Oh yeah. No, well, you're on headphones anyway. You can't hear.
Okay, she couldn't see me waving.
Yeah, no, she can't. She has a bird. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is that a cockatoo? What is that?
Yeah, it's a cockatoo. It's a lesser. What is it?
Lesser sulfur-crested cockatoo.
Lesser sulfur-crested cockatoo.
Oh wow.
Dude, she was insane. I got
that is a complicated ass name.
Someone elbowed me in the.
All right, guys. I gotta peace out. I will catch you guys on the next one. Let me know if you do something again like this, and then I'll like.
Why did we do the young lion sign?
I have no idea. I don't know. Honestly, this kind of thing, like I kind of get it from like the New York, like the fucking that shit. Like I can't stop doing it. This is my favorite move.
See, this is the reason why we need Google Hangout, because I can say this thing and you guys can see it.
Yeah. That's not gonna work in a podcast.
No, it's not gonna do it. I put my fingers like this and wave them like I just don't care.
All right, man. I'll check you guys later. It's good to see you, Kat. I'll see the rest of you guys.
Have a good one.
All right, peace out.
Have fun with your cockatoo.
Thank you. My cockatoo.
Cockatoo. Don't stroke it too hard.
Stupid. Get out. I'll see you guys later.
No.
Oh my god. And that was smoke, everybody. That was smoke. Smoke. Does Smoke even smoke?
I don't know. I don't know him.
You don't know Smoke? Ben Lee?
Who do you
No,
dance with?
I can't say I do.
Jay's like, who the fuck was that guy? I was talking to him, but who the fuck was that guy?
For real. Who do you dance with?
Huh? Oh, I don't know, but he battled a hell of a lot. He won a lot of battles.
Because he's
Battles.
Korean.
Yeah. Fucking Korean.
Because he's Asian, like we said.
Oh, no, but not all Asians are alike, my friend.
Oh no, it's just the Koreans are really good.
No, well, see, the Korean mentality. Here's the thing: is that in Korea, in South Korea at least, in North Korea, I don't think they have minds at all. In South Korea, they're very liberal in South Korea.
Mhm.
They're very liberal in South Korea, which is the reason why they actually compete with Americans in the styles. You know, I'm not saying that Japanese that like they don't, but the thing is, like, the difference with Japan and Korea, you know, is that in Japan they're very conservative. Like the temperament I was talking about, they're very conservative, so they want to get better at whatever it is they're doing. Right. In Korea, they're it's a little half and half, but they lean a little bit towards the liberal side. So what happens is that they will learn a lot of the fundamentals, but eventually get bored of it and want to do something else. And one thing that I've actually well documented, and I've actually complained to when I was in the Philippines, I complained to my dance community about that, because my dance community was very conservative. Do you understand that how hard it is to be creative in the Philippines? It's so hard. It's not conducive. They do not give a shit about creativity. I'm sorry, my Filipino brothers and sisters, but you don't. It's the reason why I left you and I'm here. No, but that's what it is. If it comes to mastering, like, Filipinos will master shit up the ass. They will. Like, they will take all the time to master it. You know, creating something new, it's just not in the culture. Obviously, there are a lot of exceptions to the rule. There's a lot of people who I knew who were very creative, but even for them, they had a hard time succeeding, because you join battles, chances are we won't win because we're different. Here in America, on the other hand, you're different. It increases, it augments your chance of winning. So I mean, it's a very big difference. The culture really actually plays a big role, because that's America's #1 export is liberalism. There's the reason why a lot of people leave their countries to come here. Essentially, I mean, nowadays it's the welfare, but I mean, at least a long time ago, that's what it was. You know, people came here to be free. So, you know. Are you ever going to talk to us? Ken, I promise I won't talk about Cloud9's losses.
Lol. And FlyQuest.
And did FlyQuest lose too?
Yeah, they're both at the bottom of the list.
Oh, I'm not smiling because of that reason.
What up, Ken? It's JJ. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
I'm such an ass. That's what this instead of Ask Crane, it's going to be called Ass Crane.
That's great.
That's great.
That's a nice ass.
That's a nice, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yep. It's a crane and an ass. What it is. So I hope people watching they're just not like, oh, what's going on?
I like 2 laptops going on. That's why.
Oh, bro. You be double dipping. I see you.
Right back, guys.
All right. That's cool. But yeah. What did you guys think of let's start the body rock conversation, because I know Ben was trying to go there. Ben was trying to go there. So
well, what do you want to hit first?
I don't know, man.
Like, do you want to
I
hit
don't know.
results? Do you
Because
want to hit what we think of what was presented? Do you want to think of like crowd, like what crowd reactions happened and what didn't? Like the whole body rock itself, like the whole setup for it.
Okay, let's talk about the state of body rock. for a second. Then, what do you guys think of the state of Body Rock? You know, did you think that this hiatus was kind of a response to that? Like they pretty much said, oh, you know, we're going to go on hiatus because they don't project that they're going to be doing well in the future. What is this? Oh, theories, guys, theories. I want ideas.
I don't know. Like to me, like Body Rock, in Southern California, that's the end of the year competition. You know, like we run off a school year track.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like the last competition of the school year because that's heading towards summer. So I don't know. To me, like that's the prize goal, and then the new I don't think it has to be something like that per se.
I mean, it's got to be something big because, you know, to not have an annual competition, you know, it's called an annual competition for a reason.
Yeah.
And to not have it in a year, that's you know, that's a big decision to make, and you don't make those on a whim, especially with something as big as Body Rock. I mean, I should see if I can invite Anis around.
I was about to say that's more of a wild question.
I know, no, but I want to hear ideas. You know, I want to hear ideas. I want to see what's up. Like, tell me.
The state of Body Rock.
Yeah. Because I know there are some people who are of the persuasion that Body Rock has not been trending positively. You know.
Interesting.
So could this be a reflection of that? I mean, I've only been here for 7 years, according to Karoy. So I mean, I don't know it. I don't know it as well as everybody else. I mean, I'm even more of a noob in my own head because I think I was only here for 5 years.
Well, I feel like Body Rock became less meaningful to the SoCal squad than it used to be, strictly because of the internationals. You know what I mean? Because internationals come in, and for the past 3 years that they've been here, 3-4 years, whatever it is, internationals have walked away. You know what I mean?
With the
title.
Yeah, walked away with the title,
Yeah.
right? So is this us effectively building a wall?
Sort of. Kind of. But
Body
I feel
Rock
like,
great again?
oh my god. But yeah, it's like I don't want to name drop teams or anything, but take CG for example. Yeah, they have their whole, this is what we do at Body Rock, this is the kind of things we do at Body Rock, which is the emotional thing. But regardless of like who's in charge, who's choreographers, whatever, like nothing seems meaningful anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, people are like usual, oh, road to Body Rock, da da da. But I feel like the excitement's gone for SoCal. You know what I mean? Unless it's like someone's first Body Rock.
Is it because there's no sort of upward trajectory for the SoCal teams?
Yes. In the sense,
so no incentive for them to go because they know they're not going to win.
Basically.
Well, but see, the only reason why anybody would think that way is that if there is almost a shared idea or there's almost a shared belief, you know, even superstition that the international teams are getting it unjustly. You see where I'm going with this, right? Because you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't be like, okay, because think of it, if this was any other competition and people were like, well, you know, chances are I'm not going to win, I'm not going to join, you know, then they really think that then the odds are stacked against them, right? So it's either these teams feel inferior to the international teams, or they think that the competitions are skewed to their favor unjustly. Because for me, that's kind of the proper correlation of that. True. You know, because if they thought that the international teams was getting it fairly, then they wouldn't feel that way. You know, so I mean, now I'm going to kind of pose a question. Do you think that any of you guys believe that there is a sort of international team affirmative action when it comes to competitions?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just because, like, like see, like teams that don't make Body Rock anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like there's like skill levels have like fallen off or whatever. But bringing in international teams, like I get why they're doing it, but at the same time, I don't get it because Body Rock was the pinnacle of the SoCal circuit. You know what I mean? That's the ending. Everyone knows that's when the season ends. That's when everyone knows auditions are coming up, etc.
Remember HHI now. That's the new thing.
Yeah, but no SoCal team's going to HHI.
Yeah, but
Arizona.
Oh no, it's in Arizona, right?
Let's be
No,
real.
let's say like, why don't we Arizona? No offense to Arizona people.
But like you get what I'm saying though, right? Like they're taking away opportunities for the SoCal teams or some of the SoCal teams, I should say, to want to better themselves. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, we didn't get into Body Rock. Okay, year's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And
So it's almost like you swipe the incentive away from them.
Exactly. Like but again, it's like up to the directors and how they direct and what mentality they distill in their dancers. But at the same time, it's just like if an opportunity is automatically taken away from you from the moment you hit stage first time of the year, it's like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Because they released the Body Rock lineup months ahead of time. You know what I mean? I mean, shit happens, and some teams make it back on like later on, but it's just like I don't know. It's something to work for. Because when you think about it, most teams nowadays, like say the mid carders or like the heavy hitters that have essentially fallen off, when they know they're doing Body Rock, most of the time they're gonna make a new Body Rock set after UB. You know what I mean? And I mean that's their fault for going that route, but at the same time, it's like the teams that would get a chance to perform at Body Rock, like let's say Fanbits, if they ever got accepted, like the way like it's another whole thing. You know what I mean? For a team to get into Body Rock who's never performed at Body Rock, who's like. You know what I mean? It puts another fire under them. And then that's how the community flourishes. You know what I mean?
But essentially,
right
those spots, those quote unquote kind of like the free roster spots
are taken by
international teams, and they don't seem to be. They only seem to be increasing over the years, huh? Because before, like a long time ago, it was like 1. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
3, and then now it's like usually it's like 4. And then this year on Body Rock, they cut down how many teams are performing by like essentially by half.
Yeah, I noticed that this year. I know I live in Texas now, so I have no say.
You're an American. Oh. So you think that because I understand it. I mean, if you try to look at it again, we were talking causality. If you want to see kind of where the kind of downward trajectory goes in terms of Body Rock's appeal to the SoCal, to its kind of grassroots, you can make the case that it did start from the inclusion of the international team. I wouldn't even say it's an inclusion; it's almost like a promotion towards the international teams.
I don't know. For me, thinking about it, especially in this moment, like we said, like Body Rock's at the end of the year, like it's one of the biggest competition. To me, like being a part of it, I never thought it was going down. I didn't know about the hiatus. I didn't know any of that. But to me, like the idea of Body Rock was just so big. You know, everyone tried to get in it, and especially new teams. Like the newest team on the roster from SoCal, I think, is probably like ACA right now. It's one of the newer ones, and I know that because I have friends who are on it, who are directors of it, and then they kept applying, and they finally got in after winning so many circuits, and that's to them like a very high, very high value of making onto Body Rock. So I don't know. This whole ideal of like it not being as high as it used to be is so new to me. It's interesting hearing you guys like talking about this.
Well, I take it from empirically. Well, there's my own experience. Kroy's has his own experience, but at the same time, I took the question based on an observation because there's a lot of people who did talk about it that way. Being on the scene, there were a lot of people who talked about Body Rock downward, the term downward trajectory, in sort of a general sense. But a lot of them have said there are some people who did not have a lot of positive things to say about the trajectory. So, like this raised kind of a question to me. And, I was able to perform in Body Rock 2 years in a row. So, it wasn't sort of a keyboard warrior reaction. It's not people online. It was people on the ground who I was listening to. Me personally, for example, what was it, last year? See, I wasn't a big fan of it last year because of, and I'm not even sure the international team factored into it. I personally didn't like how the, when they allowed props, like any props.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that kind of ruined it for me. Because all of a sudden the competition became about the biggest,
The better theme.
Yeah. It wasn't even a theme, it was just better production.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there were teams that had amazing productions, but they didn't really tie in with their stories very well. They didn't really tie in with their intended themes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a majority of it was gimmick. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, but and for me, my expectation coming all the way from the Philippines is that I don't watch Body Rock to see gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it the same way that JJ said, or the same way you said, John, where it's kind of the end of it's the end of the competition season, especially for the SoCal community, right? And it's supposedly like a summary, right? Of the teams who are able to join. Mm-hmm. It was almost like the summary of their
season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is where they kind of show off creatively. But it became about a whole lot of stuff. Like even this whole homecoming thing, although there was definitely a lot of cool aspects to it. It's still like at the end of the day, for me at least, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but at the end of the day, for me, I wanted to see the teams do themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird that they present somebody else's style or somebody else's piece. That's not.
I mean, it struck me. It tickled my little nostalgic bone. I'm not going to tell you where it is. It's somewhere down there. Shouldn't have said little nostalgic bone, but it's like
Dom's party.
when it was really nice nostalgically. But I really did want to see GRV be GRV. I know that a lot of them did to the best of their extents, right?
The best of their
understanding. To the best of their understanding. But I would rather have seen more, of themselves in it.
Mm.
Because that's kind of what it is. It's like this is when every team goes, all right, it's Body Rock. I'm good. We're gonna do this, and everyone eventually uses a voiceover. I don't know. Where's the lie, right? Because the voiceover, it just solidifies their, it's like this big narration, and it's it's
gonna be epic,
and every they get like an Asian guy to try to sound like Morgan Freeman and fail. That's the way I see it.
I had Morgan Freeman voice.
Kinja's doing well though. Kinja's doing well.
Kinjaz, no, come on. I love Kinjaz. Kinjaz do not do the voice over well. They do not do the voiceover well. What they're saying is nice. Like the message of what they're saying is nice. The voice acting doesn't. You know, they could just try to lower the octaves instead of the guy going curtain draws. You know. They could have just post-edited it and lowered the shit out of it, but no. I guess apparently that's
Not a thing.
more. They put more of their effort on the choreography, so I respect that. Yeah, sorry, but yeah. Okay, let's talk results. How did you guys feel about the results? Let's see who's willing to be honest here. I don't even know how many people are watching, but let's.
There's 3 of us in the chat.
Mm-hmm. But this is also on YouTube, so
Is it? What's the link to YouTube?
it's live on YouTube, I believe.
On
Oh, wait, are you watching? Can you see how many views it has? It has 3 views.
nice.
So I guess that's our cue to be honest. Bad news for you. It's actually recorded. This whole thing is recorded. It's gonna be like as soon as I press stop broadcast, it's there.
Mhm.
So people can go back and call and call you out, but we're men, so we're going to take it. Bring it, Kinjaz.
I watched back, like when you said that Chapkas had the better choreography.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do agree. It's just I still feel like the messiness was a little much. You know what I mean?
But the thing is with messiness is that with teams with lots of numbers, you can hide that. They're able to hide that.
Mm-hmm.
And as like, I think I forgot who said this conversation. Like it's with judges, you know, there's so many factors when you judge.
Mm-hmm.
If you're hungry, if you blinked, if you're looking down your scorecard to write a note, like there's a lot of variables within that. So they could have missed something or looking at other aspects of it. Personally, I think I just wanted to say it was very nostalgic when I saw I think it was Simpson who did the flip into John Ha's piece. I was like, what the fuck? That was very yeah. I was like they played that one really well.
The fact that they actually did the choreo.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
I think was kind of the smarter choice. I mean, it wasn't very creative, but that was the smarter. If you were trying to go for nostalgia, that was the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. That was pretty good.
Essentially,
the first place team did. I felt like that was like a good representation of Common Ground.
Yeah,
like because of what because of that set before that they did. I don't know. Which Common Ground would put.
See, with the first place team, I think that they won on the basis that out of all of the teams that that honored, right? They were the ones who did not honor. They actually took the CG concept and they evolved it.
Yeah,
they elevated it. They were able to outdo it in a sense, which I think, is that if the homecoming aspect of it, right, is part of the criteria of judging, then the team that won first place, like regardless of choreo, like already, like they're gonna go home with it because they did that theme
really well,
up and beyond what everybody else did, because everyone kind of did like a soft interpretation, like Chapkas. It's funny, Chapkas got second and they actually did the damn choreo. So I'm thinking that maybe that has something to do with it, right? I mean, it was really well done. On the point, the thing is, see, this is where I kind of differ from the two of you when it comes to Chapkas. Is that for me, when it came to Chapkas, the fact that they weren't clean and they were able to elicit that kind of response still, I think that's a positive. Yeah. It's like, okay, you did your thing, you weren't clean, but the response was amazing. The judges obviously liked it. Like, this is that's a plus to me.
Yeah.
It means that what they lacked in cleanliness, they made up for in choreography, or they made up for in hype or
Yeah.
reaction or
It's a
whatever.
very well thought out set. You know.
Yeah.
With Chopkiss's set, they're very visually pleasing.
Mhm.
Very visually pleasing.
And it was a very good balance too. It wasn't just a whole bunch of visuals. You know, they had like a big visual, right, and then they had lots of difficult choreography.
Oh, and they
And
brought
then
out
big
Miniotics.
visual
Was that Miniotics in it?
and then Mayos, yeah.
Definitely. Like that's nostalgic, like in itself. Like,
Mhm.
'cause you know. So, and props to them.
It's nostalgic because people who know them as Miniotics and look back at them now and they're just like, oh my god, they're so grown up.
They're not mini.
Is that what?
They're just,
Oh, their name doesn't suit them anymore.
they competed in an adult team this year.
Yeah, they competed in adult team and beat us. Fuckers. Anyway, I don't know who's watching, but I think I heard him cough. Anyways, no, the thing was, you know, even though I still think that that move was kind of cheesy to like bring another crew in. I mean, I can't say much. I did the same thing with 323, and and the mob with J.
Yeah.
Chris. So I'm a gigantic hypocrite, but I still think it was cheesy. But at the same time, I think it was a brilliant strategy because you know, for a short segment they were able to bring to you know, exhibit something different choreography wise, so it didn't all look like, it wasn't just all Melvin's choreo the whole time.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of I thought that worked well to their favor. And look at, I mean, watch the video. The crowd reaction was amazing for them.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a standing ovation.
Yeah, they know how to do it. I think I've seen them live several times, HHI and especially Vibe too. They just their presence on stage is just amazing. Like
Yeah.
you feel the energy.
Because that's, you know, Melvin Tim Tim, I've said this before, but Melvin Tim Tim, in terms of like stylistically with choreography, in terms when you think of misdirection, which is, you know, it's so highly sought after now. Like every choreographer now tries to do a misdirection with their choreo, you know. But when it comes to that, like Melvin Tim Tim's kind of like the little prince of that. Like he's the king of it. So and when you put a lot of people doing the misdirections, clean or not, like it's the crowd goes ooh, you know, when they see it, it just tickles the brain. That's what misdirections do. It works for comedy, it works for scary movies, and it definitely seems to work for Chapkiss Dance.
Yes.
So, I mean, hats off to them for that. Hats off to them for that.
But what I also appreciate with them is that they've like, after seeing, I think the first time I saw them really big was HHI, like a long time ago, like when they really started blowing up more. But they've stuck to their style and they're true to it. And that's who they are, and they do really well at it.
Yep, they actually have improved quite a lot. And I don't even think so much that they improved. I think they found, after all the, because I think they've always been good.
Yeah.
I think they've always been good. You know, what I think was they were able to find a formula that worked for them. They were able to kind of find where they were comfortable, you know, and they were able to run with it.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this, as much as I do give them a lot of props, one of my bigger criticisms of Chapkiss is that, you know, they have a very readable formula, right? It's, you know, it's not even subtle at this point. Like, you know what's coming up next, basically, right? And usually, but to their credit, usually teams that have very readable formulas, they tend to fall off. But Chapkiss doesn't seem to be doing that. I think they're still in the prime of their career as of the moment. So that's definitely good. For what did you think of third place?
I mean, personally, it was just clean fundamentals. Like, that's they brought, I think for them as well, like the gimmick that they really brought was just having that guy on stage. And I,
Because that's a requested.
yeah,
So
yeah. So and then like that's honoring requests and what they did, and I think like they did their own thing with that as well. So I don't know, like for me, like I guess going off like topic of we're talking about how people think outside country crew, like you expect like an Asian team or outside country team to place and sing. But like going off of that again, it's like if you're coming from a different country, you're gonna come out here to win. Like you're not gonna travel like thousands of miles away just to show up. And like to me,
that's absolutely true.
Yeah, they brought the heat. Personally, they're just very clean performance. It kind of reminded me of the last place first team. I forgot their name. But they're just cleaning their own aspect of being all female poppers and doing it.
It just wasn't, the only problem that I really have with it, off the top of my head, that is, it just really wasn't very creative. I mean, plain and simple. I think that's and not trying to dog their performance or anything, because their performance definitely was up there. But I mean, here's the problem: is when you have three of the teams that place, right? You have three of the teams that place, and then you're kind of comparing them now to each other, right?
Okay.
In terms of the creativity, like compared to the other two, it kind of fell short for me. In terms of execution, they probably topped the other two.
Yeah.
So it's almost like one actually followed the theme, right? And they were also fairly creative too. Probably not as creative as Chapkus in terms of like raw choreography. And then you have Chapkus, who was very original. They're probably the most original team that was there. Because they're very good at doing Chapkus, and you look at it, it's very Chapkus.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything to it. In fact, the thing that was unoriginal about it was the things that they intended not to be original, which was the John Ha and the Miniotics.
Yeah.
Right. But everything else was just classic Chapkus
formula.
Yeah, it was their formula. It's a formula, but it's theirs.
Yeah.
For Geisha Crew, on the other hand, like that kind of became, I guess they're the ones who kind of aced the others in terms of execution. And I can't even make that assumption for sure, because I haven't seen the rest of the competition. I haven't seen all of them yet. I haven't watched Jabberwockies. I saw 3 people on stage. What happened there?
I didn't watch the whole show. I mean, there's some teams where I watch, but you like when you have competitions, or when the whole new competitions on YouTube, you first watch the top 3, then you watch your favorite teams, and then after a while you just try to like keep up with whatever's still there. I haven't caught up to whatever's still there yet.
Oh, right. I guess I'm on the same boat too, because the first thing you're always going to watch are the ones who placed. It's what it is. In fact, that's kind of part of the prize.
Yeah.
Is that you get seen first. That's what it is. It's not so much that they upload you first. It's just that's what everyone's waiting for. That's what everyone is going to watch.
Want to watch the first, second, third, and just see why, and then they brought their own opinions on it.
Yeah, and especially for international teams, or especially for people abroad, like in the Philippines, they don't have the same sense of hip hop as we do here in America. Like they don't. I'll say that straight up right now. Like they have a hard time discerning what's good without having a reference, right? And for them, they can't really tell, because I'll tell you something about the Philippines. A lot of the times when Filipinos watch body rock, to them, GRV, Common Ground, CADC, ACA, Cory Cookies, they're all good.
Yeah.
To a Filipino in the Philippines, they're all good. There's none of them that are bad. They're looking at them and they're all in all. They're just like, oh my god, they're so good. Galing naman, galing. And then, but the problem is that they go, in the Philippines, they're just like, everyone's good, but who do we emulate? I'm not saying that they're gonna bite, although the reality is that they do bite. But they're looking for a standard to follow. Right? And they're going around, they're looking, oh, who's good, and they see, okay, Choreo Cookies, okay, this, all right. And that's the standard that that's the standard that they're gonna follow. throughout the rest of the year, the year after Body Rock,
Okay.
the year to follow, you know. And a lot of, and I'm pretty sure that that's not only true for the Philippines, but that's true for pretty much the rest of the world when they watch Body Rock. So, you know, because I mean, as much as HHI is amazing and awesome, and you know, I can't stress enough how amazing that competition is. It's probably one of my favorite competitions ever. But in terms of creativity, Body Rock is the one to watch, right?
Body
You
Rock,
have
well, like to me, there's the in the SoCal, like there's like the top four, for me personally, which will be Vibe, Body Rock, UB, and then when TM was like, it was the bridge, or before, like there's now like NorCal, SoCal, and they branched out. Before, when the bridge was just one competition, for me, like that's how I felt like the top four competitions for me, at least. So I thought those were like the highest. I don't know. That's a Mississippi.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, they were called the Big Five for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
Like these were the ones that everyone wanted to do, because it's a collegiate scene. It's these college kids want to do them, you know. I mean, I I didn't do college here, and I wanted to do them. But yeah, that's. But you know, like on the international scene, like they're really looking for a standard, and it's gonna suck because that means next year they don't have us. They don't. It's there. It's just one standard, one other point of reference that they're not going to have. They're now they're gonna have to look forward to maybe Vibe or HHI maybe. You know, that's what that is. Any other standout performances for you for Body Rock?
I'm just gonna look up the playlist right now, actually, see which ones stood out.
Yeah, find one. Give me just one that you thought was a standout.
Which ones
aside from the ones that we already mentioned?
Which ones have you seen?
No, I was asking you. What do you think?
Oh, what do I think?
Yeah, you can be biased. It's all right. Eccentrics didn't perform this year, so. So if you say Eccentrics, I know you're just kissing ass.
Funny. The only one I've seen.
You said that with so much dismay.
No, but like you guys been up there, like you and Theorist. So I'm like,
yeah,
that's a pretty good thing. Only two that I've really seen was ACA, Good Project, and what did I say? I saw GRV, a little bit of 18. Going off the Filipino thing, for me, 18 is just a lot going on. For me personally,
I don't know who they were honoring. Who are they honoring?
I don't know. Let me go look that up now.
If they were honoring somebody, they did a pretty bad job, because I had no idea who they were trying to honor.
I think some of them were just like, oh, we're just gonna
do 18.
Yeah. No, but there was some like people like I couldn't tell. I had to go back. I had to go reference the list to see like what they did. They're supposed to reference choreo cookies.
Oh, they were supposed to do choreo cookies?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I did not see any choreo cookies in that.
Not at all.
Did you?
No,
I did not see any choreo cookies in that.
I watched like the first minute, then I changed it. No,
some Filipino you are. Taksil.
Yeah.
I just called you a traitor.
I know. What else? I don't know.
Here, I'll give you mine.
Yeah, I'll bounce off you.
For me, the standout performance for me was GRV.
Really?
Yes. I actually thought they had a really good set.
Okay.
Choreography wise, super crisp. They were one of the cleaner groups of the day, probably one of the cleanest or probably would. Well, they might even probably be the cleanest that were there. The choreography was very difficult. There was a lot of great musicality that was going around. You know, like I could break it up like piece by piece, and it was actually really good. Which is funny because, you know, just so people don't know, or just for record's sake, that, you know, it's not that I'm not trying to kiss ass to GRV. If anything, I was very critical of GRV for the past like maybe 4 years, right? But the past 2-3 years, I think, the past 2-3 years, they have been actually coming up with a lot of great product. You know, by product I mean choreography. They've been coming up with a lot of great choreography.
I think within the past, it's for me, like I'm agreeing with you. Like they're breaking the mold of what their formula used to be. You know, because like I remember like back in I think 2008 or 9, there's always gonna be a David Lynn piece. There's always gonna be a Showtime piece. Always gonna be a John Hall piece. Always a Ben Martin, and then probably an Anthony Lewis piece. You know, and if anything, there'll be some random choreographer coming up, or like in the process is coming up. So like that was their formula, and I think, and like that formula worked because I remember I was watching. Like I think for me, my favorite Body Rock is Body Rock 2010, where they had their that's when GRV I think took third. Like that's hands down always was my favorite GRV set.
Which one was that? What piece was in that one?
Oh, that was where they honored where Chopkiss honored John Haas Flip, whatever.
That one?
Yeah, that's my favorite GRV piece. Personally.
Yeah, that was a pretty iconic piece. That was pretty iconic, yeah.
Because I remember the first time I saw it was back in World of Dance 2010, where they did it on World of Dance Pomona stage. One World of Dance Pomona still. And I saw it the first time live, and like I saw it progress from how it looked there to what it looked like at Body Rock, and it was just a big change still.
Yeah.
But with their set, I agree with you 100%. I don't know David Lynn personally. I've taken classes from him. He always preaches out like how he teaches them lines. He loves lines, and you can tell their lines were very good. I love the blocking. Like I love how in shorter pieces there's always people on the floor and like blasting from left to right. You know, leaving on stage, leaving off stage. Like that's the kind of thing you do want to see.
Yeah, see, I mean, I wanted to point that out too in terms of transitions. A lot of the teams in Body Rock this year being too hard with some of the transitions that a lot of it just didn't make a lot of sense. And GRV did theirs very, very smooth. I mean, if everyone was trying to be like Milk, like these guys were. Oh my god, I was just thinking about it. It's such a horrible analogy. If everyone was trying to be fluid with their if they were trying to transition like water, V did it like a well-oiled machine. You know, like they're just how they would just end up. And the way you can tell that a transition is good is that once the transition is complete, the audience is focused on the right thing. See, that was the problem. Like, you know, like my problem with let's say ACAs.
I know the look.
When ACA they had a lot of their transitions. After the transition, you didn't know where to look.
Yeah.
You're like, who am I looking at? And then whoever's dancing first, you're like, oh, you know, that's the first person. That's the first thing you're going to look at, and then that was it.
But I think for ACA itself, because I watched the growth a lot because I founded Rooks, and a lot of my Rooks people went on to ACA.
Went on to ACA. Yeah. I recognized a couple.
Yeah, so I've seen them where it was you know, when Marcus was in charge with all of them beforehand, and watching them go from like I think what was that bridge performance that really went viral with Franklin's like leg piece in the beginning, the shaking, where it became a thing.
Yes, the strategy that he hasn't let go of since today.
Yeah,
until now.
But yeah, like I've seen them progress to what they are now, and they've become more of like That's funny because their name is ACA Hip Hop, and like I love you guys who are watching this. Right now they're more like ACA Contemporary now, more of instead of just hip hop.
That's true. Oh my gosh, some performers well, a lot of the communities kind of leaning
towards that now, right? It's changed.
now.
Yeah,
It's I mean, they make it too easy to criticize them, to have themselves get criticized. If you ask me, if you kind of get into the realm of contemporary and you don't know how to do a point correctly, and it just ruins the picture to me.
Yeah, it's like ACA Modern now.
ACA Modern.
Like twist and play.
ACA Modern Dance.
Yeah, Modern Dance, not modern.
ACA. Yeah, I know, but it's almost like ACA Interpretative Dance.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's how it felt like too. I won't. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's really how it did feel.
The way you're talking about like their transitions, because for me, I love the transitions because I love when audience has to turn their head sometimes, to watch when things go. But I think that visually, it makes the audience be more engaged to have to focus on the choreography. But for me personally, it's like that's interesting as well.
Well, we probably differ there because I don't like it. I don't. For me, that's almost like lazy directing to me.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, because that could work horribly. Like, oh, I want you to look at something, and I mean, because think about it. If the focus didn't matter, if focus doesn't matter on stage, if you're willing to allow people to kind of like look for where's the next line or where's the next supposed intentional focus supposed to be, then what's the point of people being in the front line or people being in the back line, like, because you put them in certain ways in certain places because of focus. Why do dancers work so hard to be in the front, to be seen, right? Because that means that they're fighting for focus. They want people to look at them.
But like with me, like,
so I think that's kind of maybe there's some excitement when you need to look for something. Maybe it's kind of like a Where's Waldo effect, But
and
I think as a general rule, focus having good focus is good.
And I think I for me, like I grew this like because of Danny, because I remember we collabed one time, and then our kids collabed one for one project, and from what I learned from him is that with his team, it's like yes, he has individual dancers that he focuses out, but then like as a whole, as area kids, like they'll have moments where you look in the back of the set, you look in the front of the set, and it's like I don't watch them individually, but I watch them as a whole. And then how should I say it? It's like if you dance good as a whole, you can make anything pop out. On one aspect of it. So that's how I see it. And like we have different opinions on it, and that's okay.
Oh, you thought that was my opinion? That was not my opinion. That was my argument.
Argument. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. But I mean, it doesn't have to be that serious. But yeah, I mean, we tackled all of that stuff. I guess we're gonna end it with our little adjudication of body rock. So I mean, we'll continue this again, man. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. Thank you guys. Thank Jay, Can, Jonathan, Ben Skakatu. Yeah. And by Stormblood, it's coming out on June 16. Get it because it is an amazing game. That's Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood.
Final Fantasy sponsors.
Yes, Final Fantasy, please sponsor me. Shout out to everybody else too. So that's gonna end it for tonight. This is the first one. Hopefully we'll be more structured in the next one. But if you enjoy this kind of ranting, I mean, we're always here. So this is Crane for Ask Crane, and we are going to sign out. Say bye, Jay.
Bye. Thank you again.
See ya.